Hey everyone, hope you all are well. I'm starting out by priming the eye area a different way today. I carve out under my brows with concealer, but I keep the concealer just to the arch. And then when I'm doing my foundation, I take this across the lids because it's a much thinner consistency. And this just blanks out any discoloration and leaves me with a nice base to start out on. But because it's a creamy texture, I need to set that in place now. So I'm dusting some of my face powder all over the lid so that I've got a nice smooth powdery base for my shadows to go on top of. So we are doing a one shadow grey look today, and whenever I'm working with cooler tones, one of my favourite palettes to reach for is this Zoeva Smokey palette. I'm taking that shade, the second one in on the top row, called Sleep to Dream, and a Blank Canvas Cosmetics E26 blending brush for this look today. It's a one shadow, one brush look that's really quick and easy to recreate. So I'm starting out by tapping and pushing this product onto the eyelid. I'm using circular motions now to buff that shadow across. So because this is a blending brush and it's fluffy, it's naturally better at diffusing shadows as opposed to applying them. It's not that you can't apply shadows with this brush, you absolutely can, like I am here. However, it is just going to take that little bit longer to build up the intensity of the shadow. And by that, I mean it's just going to take a few layers. It doesn't really take long at all. And this is because a fluffy brush picks up and applies less product, therefore you have to layer it up. Whereas with a dense brush, like a flat C-shaped brush that we would usually use for the lid, that brush is more dense and then as a result, it packs on more shadow. The thing is, you can't really blend, not very well anyway, with a C-shaped brush, and that's why I've chosen the fluffy one today. You can see I'm able to apply this to the lid, fade it up into the crease, and just give myself a really nice wash of colour with this shadow. And I'll show you now how to adapt the brush in a second if you want to be more specific with your eyeshadow placement. When it comes to the lower lash line, I want to get my brush right into that lash bed, but with a brush like this, the bristles are splayed out a bit, so you can't really add depth to that area, not very well. So what I like to do is to take a little elastic hair bobble, wrap it around the ferrule, push it up onto the bristles of the brush just to compact them together. Now, alternatively, you could just squish the bristles down with your fingers, but I like this way. So now I can sweep the shadow right in at that lash line, and then if I want to fade it out and smoke it out, I can just take off that bobble and run the brush down along the edge of the eyeshadow to soften it. Another way of getting a more intense colour payoff on the lid with the fluffy brush is, rather than using the tip of the brush to apply the shadow, use the side of the brush. And that way then you compress the shadow and pack the colour onto the lid like you would with a flat brush. And then what I like to do is, once I've coated the entire lid, I just use the tip of the brush once again to fade out the edges. So for liner now, I'm going to take this number 7 one. It's the Stay Perfect Amazing Eyes pencil in the shade black. I'm running this back and forward inside the eye, lining both the top and bottom waterline at the same time. And then I'm pulling the pencil slightly underneath the lower lash line as well. So I'm going to pop the babble back on my brush now, and while that pencil is still nice and creamy, I'm going to smudge it out, and you want to do this as soon as you can after applying the pencil because you don't want it to set. If it does, you won't be able to blend it out at all. Then I'm going back in with that grey and I'm toning that black down just to make sure that I have a nice gradient from black to grey. I want the colour darkest on that waterline, so black there, and then fade and smoke out downwards from that point. For the upper lash line now, I'm going in once again with the pencil and I'm lining this along the upper lash line, smudging that pencil again into the lash bed. And once I've gotten a line across the lash line, you don't need to be neat with it because we will be smudging it out. That's what I'm doing now. I'm just running that brush back and forward along that area to give me a really nice smoky feel. Then I'm going to take the bobble off the brush and I'm going to run the fluffy brush along that pencil with a touch of grey once more just to merge them together. But then that's it. I'm going to add some mascara, add some lashes. The lashes I'm using are pretty dramatic. I think they transform the look. These are the Kiss Wet Look lashes in the style Drop. They're my new favourite. And then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you soon.